My name is Patience Nabukaze. I'm a climate and environmental use advocate. I work with Fridays for Future in Uganda. I'm passionate about protecting wetlands through a campaign called Stop Wetland Degradation. I've been also campaigning on stop plastic pollution in my country, in natural resources such as Lake Victoria, wetlands and rivers. Well, the whole of last year up to now, I've been campaigning on the Stop Eco project as a way of putting people before profits, not profits for people. So we have been people, not profits. Stop fossil fuels, little and eco. Youths, we have a big role to play in fighting climate change. We shouldn't be scared. For example, like me in my country, we get issues of we are not allowed to strike, we are not allowed to fight for climate change. We are youths are being pressed. They are afraid of being arrested because of political issues, so they are afraid of facing this climate fight. But every time I tell, when I go to schools to educate about climate change, I tell the youths that it's high time we fight now to have a better future. If we need a better future, we have to be a part of the fight. When we are youths, we have a chance to change the world, and the future we want will not happen by default, but rather by action. So I feel like youth's action in the fight for climate change is so essential and impactful for a better future. Personally, I'm a victim of climate change. I cannot say that I've seen the impact of climate change when I'm at this age. It's when I was still a child. We lived in a place in our country. It's called Natete in Kampala. So this place was literally a wetland before, and our government sold it off for industrial purposes, for infrastructure development, for other selfish reasons and investments so on growing up, whenever it rained, it could flood our house, and I could not go to school, my sister couldn't go to school, and I've grown up with this climate anxiety all my life, and this has always left me with questions with what to do, how to do it. And when in taking subjects in school, I decided to take geography as a subject, deeply to go, why are we always flooded? Whenever it rained, we could see children dying, we could see property being lost. Sometimes people's houses could drown and some could fall down. So these impacts have given me a chance to be a fighter in this climate movement. I think in COVID, when we all had enough time, we were home, so I decided to maybe start posting my work. And when I went online, I saw Greta Thunberg. She had started the campaign, the Fridays for Future movement, in 2019. So I joined in 2020, where I used to do strike. So I took my first strike in the house because it was COVID. So I joined the global movement, and I also added on the actions that I've been always doing without putting online. And also this pushed me more further to go in schools, communities, reach out to girls. So we are basically looking at girls because girls and women are at the front line of the climate crisis. So you find that we have reached indigenous people, indigenous women in villages, to educate them about climate change, how they can live sustainable, how they can stand, and to have money, because we all know Africa is not only fighting the climate change or the climate crisis, but it's also going through poverty crisis. So there are many ways women can live even with no money but can survive in rural areas.